Scottish Premiership season is only 11 days old, but already we're wondering what on earth's coming next. This is one of 3 games that have survived the various trials and tribulations this evening. 2 of the 300%ers are in action. Ross County are at home to Kilmarnock, and Rangers here against St Johnstone, hoping to join Hibernian at the top tonight. I suppose men like Jack Ross will be doing all they can to ensure this is not just a 2-team title race, but Rangers are certainly being handed a chance to get a head start. The Light Blues have 3 more fixtures before Celtic even kick a ball again. It is the same Rangers team that started against St Mirren here on Sunday. Ryan Jack, Joe Rebo and Alfredo Morelos were all spared the last 15 minutes and more. So there should be plenty of fuel left in the tank. John McLaughlin continues in goal as Alan McGregor nurses that minor knee problem. Maybe 4-3-3, maybe more likely after what we saw at the weekend, 4-2-3-1. Rangers old boy Michael O'Halloran misses out on an Ibrox reunion through suspension. He saw 2 yellow cards before half-time when St Johnstone came from behind to draw at Dundee United 11 days ago. His place goes to former Dundee United man Craig Conway, who Callum Davidson gives a first start in St Johnstone colours too. Kevin is alongside me, and 3 games before Celtic even play again. I won't tempt fate by adding it all up for you, but the difference could be a significant one by the time Celtic kick off at Tannadice in 10 days' time.
Yeah, it's massive, Clive. It really is. It's there's no doubt about it that if the team can perform the way we would expect them to perform and put the points on the board, there's certainly added pressure, no doubt about it. So the manager will be reiterating that to the players. The players will know that themselves. Look, you always know how your arch rivals are doing and the stuff that goes on in the media. That's just the way it is in Glasgow. But the players will be desperate to make sure they put the points on the board as soon as they can.
The setting, the atmosphere has changed. An empty, eerie Ibrox once again, but the challenge remains the same. St Johnstone have taken points off Rangers in each of the 4 seasons since the return to the top flight. 11 points lost to St Johnstone in those 4 seasons. Rangers want and need a maximum return to maintain the early season momentum tonight. Kamara, who is being linked in the gossip columns with 1 or 2 English clubs. Get used to it, everybody. These are good players, and this is a long window. Take it as a compliment. Hadji. Here is Kamara looking to feed Morelos. Keeps his place in the starting 11. Why wouldn't he after making 1 and scoring 2 at the weekend? But Cedric Itten has been joined by Kamaru on the bench this evening. There's David Wotherspoon. Golson quickly to him. Man in charge is Ewan Anderson, who got an earful from Stephen Gerrard last time he took charge of a Rangers game, and Rangers won that game. It was against Livingston here last February. I had a brief chat with the Rangers manager today. He's got his game face on.
I think he's got that on all the time, Clive.
Don't tell too many jokes on a match day, I tell you. He was a little bit narky, and I said, I like that. I like to see that as kick-off approaches.
He's the ultimate competitor, isn't he? He's just, I think he wants to win whenever he's on the training pitch, whenever he's playing heady tennis with the lads, I think whatever he does, I don't think you can become the sportsman that he become without having that competitive edge in abundance.
Jack. Rebo. Tavernier. Morelos. Did just catch David Wotherspoon there. There's no great intent.
Callum will be happy with that, Clive. The wee free kicks, the slowney, the when they do get up the pitch, St Johnstone, and they can take the time to take throw-ins. You can see already that it does become a back 5 out of possession and the 4 in midfield. I've got no doubt in my mind that St Johnstone are going to try and stop Brian Kent and Yanis Hadji finding these spaces, and then all of a sudden the five at the back can then cope with Barisic and Tavernier, who we all know play like wingers almost in this Rangers team. So it's going to be an interesting challenge for Rangers to break this rear guard down.
Well won by Balogun. Looks as if Rangers have set up 4-2-3-1, but with a Rebo in the number 10 position, Hadji from the right, Kent from the left, certainly initially, although there's a good fluidity about Rangers coming forward, something that Shelley pointed out before game, interchanging of positions. Free kick to defend first. Craig Conway, who came on for the last 20 minutes of the opening match, getting his chance because of O'Halloran's suspension this evening. It's quite a big St Johnstone team. Flag is up on the near side. Back three are all 6 foot plus. Kerr on the right, McCart on the left, Gordon in the middle. A slightly sloppy start. We saw this at the start of the second half of the weekend. Crossed in again by Conway, but that's easy enough for McLaughlin.
Yeah, a sloppy one for Liam Balogun there, Clive. It's not what we would expect, but you certainly don't want to give this St Johnstone team any wee sniffs to get further up the pitch through not their good play and poor decisions for the Rangers players.
It's run away from McCann. It's Morelos. Hadji had to check and then stretch and couldn't reel it in. Wotherspoon. Here's Callum Hendry. And he's got away from Balogun and forced a good save out of McLaughlin. And Callum Hendry just reminding Rangers what he can do. He volleyed St Johnstone in front when the two met in Perth in February.
Yeah, it's a terrific save for John McLaughlin, it really is, and that's just the wake-up call that I think this Rangers back four needs. You know, sloppy play, and then all of a sudden David Witherspoon picks up the ball, and a real good ball to Callum Hendry, and he's unlucky to put it in the back of the net. Good save for John McLaughlin.
He did well to turn Balogun and create the shooting chance for himself. It's loose from Golson this time.
This is where you need leaders, Clive. You know, when you start sloppy and you make a couple of poor mistakes, you just need somebody to grab the game with the scruff of the neck, settle people down, take a touch. You don't need to score in the first minute, the first 5 minutes. It's great to get off to a good start, but you need to be patient. Patient don't mean to move the ball slow. Just patience in your play, don't get sloppy.
Booth trying to get forward. Just couldn't link with Wotherspoon.
Witherspoon and Conroy, they tuck in quite narrow as well, Clive, the way I'd imagine they'll be the two that Callum Davison would expect to try and get St Johnstone up the pitch.
Barisic. Jack. Hadji. Aribo just couldn't quite quicken. I think he anticipated exactly where the pass was going. Hendry looking very game, very willing, and not without talent in the opening stages. He won't like everything he's seen so far.
Yeah, I think he's getting a wee bit agitated on the sideline. Callum Davison will be really happy. There's no doubt you'd expect the St Johnstone team to come here and work really hard and be really well organised. Exactly the same as Tommy Wright. Callum Davison was obviously his assistant for a wee while, so he'll be ingrained in the habits that have made that St Johnstone team really successful, so you wouldn't expect them to change too much.
Rebo moving a little gingerly. He did just try to stretch his legs and chase that pass a moment ago. And you just wonder whether he's tweaked a muscle.
That'll be a real concern for the manager. He's been the go-to man through pre-season. Clive, I've watched him at close quarters in training. I genuinely feel he's the one that that could be the difference this year. He has all the tools. He just has to back it up on the pitch. But in training, for what I've seen pre-season, some of the goals he's scored have been terrific.
He was on the fringes of the game at the weekend, but he played a little wider than he is doing tonight. He's been given the license to get a bit closer to Morelos, more central position for Joe Aribo. Hadji felt that clash of heads. Free kick's actually been given in range as favoured by Ewan Anderson. Kent. Kamara. Aribo coming, looking for the ball, moving better now. Barisic. Dispossessed though by Ali McCann.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit pedestrian at times, Clive. To be honest, it's, you know, Yanis Hadji, it was a half-hearted run to try and break the St Johnstone rear guard there. I think, you know, you need to run without the ball to try and disrupt the back four, or back five when we're out of possession.
A bit more